to fly as a young aviator. Talk about the F-15. In Vietnam, we found out that our F-4s and 105s were not as maneuverable as the smaller MiGs. So the Air Force in the 60s wanted to come up with a good air superiority fighter and selected McDonnell Douglas to build the Eagle. Two powerful engines, more thrust than weight, so it can accelerate as it climbs up for an intercept. Big wing for high altitude performance, and it had the first of the air-to-air fighter radars designed so that the pilot could fly the airplane and work the radar and launch all of the missiles without ever taking his hands off the stick and throttle. It was loaded down with buttons, as you can imagine, and they say it was like playing the piccolo. I started flying that when I was 40 years old, and I was never as good a piccolo player as the young 20-year-olds, I'll tell you. But it's a great airplane, been in combat over the years, chalked up 102 victories without a single loss in combat. Now that's a pretty good record. However, it is getting old. About 5 years ago, one was on a practice dogfight mission and the whole nose broke off, so had some structural issues with it. Being replaced by the F-22. F-100 is the next one. This is the F model, the two-place version. And Cold War, we sat nuke alert in that, used in Vietnam for close air support. The orange on the tails means it was a target drone at one time. Unmanned target drone, but they stopped using it before they got around to shooting it down, so it survived. Next is the fabulous F-4 Phantom, built by McDonnell Douglas. First flight in May of 1958. Initially a Navy interceptor, so it didn't have a gun in it. And it wasn't until the Air Force built the E model here that they put the 20mm cannon underneath the nose there. Very versatile airplane. In the fighter, interceptor, ground attack role, sat nuke alert all over the world. About 12 countries around the world flew it, some still do to this day. Next one is another McDonnell Douglas airplane, the F-101 Voodoo. Built a little earlier than the Phantom in the 50s, set a bunch of speed records. This is the two-place interceptor version, flown by both the U.S. Air Force and the Royal Canadian Air Force during those Cold War years. And again, reason for the two people on it, the second person was that radar intercept officer to operate the radar. C-130 on the right over there. Only thing I want to talk about that was damaged.